Greetings, fellow scribes! Welcome back to the archive. This week, I conclude my series on the classes of AD&D 2nd Edition Darksun by talking about a sort of not a class, but something that implicitly interacts with the classes. Trees of Life. These are magical trees that can be created by spellcasters of the appropriate classes and levels, and these trees interact with the various spellcasting classes in such a way that I figured doing one video on Trees of Life would be better than doing a little mention of a little bit of what the tree can do in each of those class videos. So sit back, relax, and enjoy as I talk about the Trees of Life. So let's start with this. The spell to create a Tree of Life is a 6th level cleric spell of the Sphere of the Cosmos, or it is an 8th level alteration and enchantment wizard spell. What this means is any wizard, preserver or defiler, can create one at 16th level. A Templar can create one at 14th level, and a Druid can create one at 11th level. Because it is the Sphere of Cosmos, and because clerics do not have major access to that sphere, clerics cannot create a Tree of Life. From there, we start to look at what do Trees of Life, what is the nature of a Tree of Life. Trees of Life are basically, when you create the spell, you use a spell, you take a sapling and you enchant it. This sapling, within 4 weeks, will grow to the size of an ancient tree. Now, what is the point of a Tree of Life? Why create them? Well, first off, a Tree of Life supports itself wherever it is planted, wherever you put it. So, if you create Trees of Life in the middle of a vast sandy wasteland, they'll live just fine. A Tree of Life is not affected by environmental issues. Drought, lack of water, too hot sun. These don't affect a Tree of Life. Now, anything else, you can chop it down, you can burn the tree, what have you, and you will destroy the physical form of the tree. But it will regenerate within 4 weeks. Every single time. No matter how much work you do to destroy it. It will always regenerate the physical form within 4 weeks. The essence, the physical, the life force of the tree, that is a little different. It counts as having 10 levels of 10 hit points each, for a total of 100 hit points. Life-draining magics can hurt the life force. So, energy drain, trap the soul, vampiric touch, death spell, finger of death, things like that. Those will affect the life force of the tree. If the tree is left alone, it's left alive, then it will regenerate 1/10 of its levels, or 10 hit points per hour. If, however, you manage to completely drain the life force down to below 0, you've snuffed out the tree. If you have also destroyed the physical form. And this is kind of the fun thing about them. It is actually kind of hard to destroy a Tree of Life. Now, how Tree of Life interact with clerics and druids is simple. Any cleric or druid that comes in contact with Tree of Life gets 4 spells which they can use once a day. Heal, Augury, Divination, or Magic Font. They can use each of those spells once per day for free, not coming from their spell lists. Not coming from even spells that they can cast. Which means any cleric comes and touches a Tree of Life, they can do 1 heal for that day. Note, heal is one of the most powerful of the healing spells because it completely heals the target. It's not a roll this many dice and heal that many hit points. It's a you cast heal and it completely heals them from wherever they are to full health. Now, when a Defiler casts spells around it, they drain 1 level of life force per level of spell they cast. So, a Defiler dropping a 9th level spell is going to really hurt a single Tree of Life. However, Defilers love Trees of Life. Many of the rich and powerful and potent Defilers maintain gardens with groves of Trees of Life. Why? So when they cast their spells, no one notices. You see, a Defiler casting a spell in a grove of Trees of Life, well, it's going to go from 1 tree first, and then the next spell will go to another tree, etc., etc. And the Sorcerer Kings, who are especially potent Defilers, have vast groves of Trees of Life within their capitals, within their enclaves, within their cities. And the reason is, this way they can cast their spells and not destroy their own city. Not destroy any fertility around their city. Not create the small verdant belt that they've settled in into an endless field of blackened ash. And you can bet one of the jobs of the higher level Templars is creating these trees. That's if the Sorcerer Kings aren't making them themselves. But why would they when they've got Templars who can do it for them? And that is pretty much the Tree of Life. This concludes my series on this trip to the Darksun. Next week, I'm going to be doing a Tales of the Archive as a break between this series and my next series where I will be looking at the factions in Starfleet battles. So until then, I'd like you all to remember to have fun and keep gaming.